But Arsenal today were nowhere near the standard. In fact, let me just take that back. Let me take that back because what I've just said there is a understatement to last a lifetime. That was a pathetic, abject, cowardice performance from Arsenal. It was a cowardice performance. I feel from the first minute of the game, it was going to go wrong with the starting lineup. Starting Madueke and Martinelli, I think, was a huge mistake. There wasn't going to be a great deal of room to run in behind. Bournemouth set up in a really interesting shape today, where they weren't quite a low block. They weren't quite high pressing at all times. At the beginning, they high pressed a lot in the second half. I'll get onto that, so don't write comments about it just yet. Let people speak before you comment. But it didn't allow enough space for the runners, because that's what Arsenal's starting lineup was full of today, was runners. And they just got their mid-block and their commitment to the press correct, Bournemouth, where there wasn't quite enough room to run into, but also not quite enough space for the slightly less technical players compared to your Sakas, your Odegaards, your Trossards to operate in. So I thought that Mikel Arteta got it massively wrong from the beginning of the game. And you could see this disconnect between the defense and the attack. And it was there for the entirety of the first half. There was barely a chance created. Absolutely horrendous. They could see the goal. And look, it's a little bit fortuitous. I think Madueke's got to work a lot harder to protect the right back area. But it was an okay cross that deflected and goes to the back post. And you think, okay, well, what is the response going to be here? And now I spoke about this so many times on the Football Terrace over the last 5, 6, 7 years. And it's one of the things that I'm so passionate about, because football fans, for one reason or another, like to ignore it. And that is mentality. That ball went in the back of the net. And although Arsenal went up the other end and created some half chances, got a corner, won a penalty, Gyökeres scored the penalty brilliantly. If you keep watching, the longer the game went on, the more the mentality shrunk. The concentration diminished. The belief dissipated. You saw Mikel Arteta, in his defense, make very early substitutions. He brings on the likes of Daumond, Eze and Trossard on the 53rd minute of the game. He gave those players a second half. I personally wouldn't have done it. I'd have made the changes at halftime, but he did do them early, which is again proof that he's not happy they're dilly-dallying on the ball. But it wasn't just the front line. Zubimendi would not take the ball on the half turn and drive into the space. Rice today, he's getting a lot of praise from the commentators, but wouldn't pick the ball up enough and drive with it. No Arsenal player today wanting to take accountability with the ball at his feet. Not one of them. Not a single one. Said, give me the ball, I'll get the job done. Everything was one touch, two touch, too many. Pass it back to the goalkeeper. Nervousness everywhere. You could feel the nerves creeping in, and it was just absolutely nowhere near where you would want to see an Arsenal team in a title race going into your last 6 to 7 matches. It was so poor. I just wanted to take a quick break to talk to you about this new game I'm playing with So Rare called So Rare Sets. I love the fantasy football element. It's so quick and it's so easy. And all you have to do is reach level 6. And once you're there, you can win $1,000. It's free to play and you get one pack offered every single day you are signed up. These players are selected from Ligue 1, the Premier League and La Liga. So you need to be strategic because the players' real performances at the weekend in their games will play a part in how many points they get. What's amazing too are their new Stellar Night packs. They're designed brilliantly. They look absolutely amazing. And for me, So Rare Sets is the absolute one. You can click on the link in the description. There's also going to be a QR code. Before we go back to the content, I just want to say a big thank you to everybody that's going to sign up and everyone that's going to challenge me at So Rare Sets. Looking forward to the challenge, people. Let's do it. It really was poor. And it's, I mean, so poor from Arsenal. And then the second goal goes in. And there is no defending it. There is no excuse for it. because it was coming. You could see it coming a million miles away. The amount of times Raya was doing this, like running his foot over the ball, silly little balls around the edge, Gabriel standing on it. And I don't necessarily blame them. I'm looking at the midfielders who were just standing there, still, static. I remember my dad once was holding auditions. My dad used to be an agent for like singers and stuff. And this woman came and done an audition. She was a brilliant singer. But they stopped her audition early, and I was a little kid in the theater listening. And my dad and one of the other agents just went, "You're too static." And I remember sitting there thinking, the fuck does my dad mean static? So in the car on the way home, I was like, "Dad, what do you mean static?" And he goes, "She just stands there like an ironing board, just like stiff." Like, no, it's not ironing board, totem pole. Have I confused the two? Stiff, no movement. And he goes, an audience likes to see a little bit of character when you're singing. The arms move, some facial expressions, a little bit of movement, just not standing there singing with just your mouth moving like a blow-up doll. And that was Arsenal today. They were blow-up dolls. They were blow-up dolls. Standing there, still, stiff, not moist. Well, they were moist, I suppose. But it was just awful to watch. Absolutely awful to watch. And the goal was coming. Everybody could sense it. Everyone in the ground, every Arsenal player, every Arsenal fan, every rival, and of course, fans like me who don't want to see Man City win the league. And then after that, you just saw it. The lack of belief this team suddenly has. That pressure of needing to get over the line, even with a 9-point gap, is crippling them. And this, unless their performances change, is the beginning of a collapse. It is. Because it's 3, you could argue 3.5, if you look at the Sporting game, performances in a row that have been nowhere near the level. And as much as people will say, you're just about getting results, you can't get results with this level of performance every single game. And Bournemouth did today very similar to what Man City did in the cup final. Not a low block, not a massive high press, just standing in the passing lanes, just stopping the ball from being moved. Now, the crazy part is, and it makes me so angry. It makes me angry for the Arsenal fans who have backed their team. I feel for them. Because it's really hard to back your football club publicly in this day and age, because you're ridiculed for backing them. And if it goes wrong, you're criticized for months. Where if you attack your team every week and then you win something, you get to join. So it's a much easier process. Both get stick, but I think it's really hard to back your club in this day and age. And I see it as a United fan. But I felt these players let those fans down today who really deserve the performance. Because how you break the approach that Bournemouth have is by players being brave on the ball. Not dilly-dallying, not second-guessing, just getting on with it. And I'm not going to sit here and talk to you like a tactico because I don't like that stuff. Actually, I quite like listening to it. I don't like talking about it. But drop deep, pick the ball up, drop a shoulder and beat a man. And I wanted more of that from Zubimendi. I wanted more of that from Declan Rice today. And I wanted to see more of it from the fullbacks. When it comes to the wingers, and even Dalman did this when he got on, you could see, and I'm not going to blame a 16-year-old. I'm only giving him his example because he didn't do it. Get the ball out your feet and cross it, lads. Get your ball. There was a couple of crosses that went in late where I think Petrovic mispunched it. It falls to Gyökeres's feet and he has a shot that goes, deflects and goes wide. That comes because an early cross comes into the box. You need to do more of that. Your fans deserve it. Your fans deserve it. And the players let them down so much today. Now, look, Arsenal fans have got every right to be angry. They've got every right to criticize, especially if some of them bought their breakfast, lunch, and fucking dinner to the game today. They've got every single right to be angry. At the same time, what do you do from here? You are still 9 points clear. It could be 6 by close of business tomorrow with City having a game in hand. I think you should criticize your team heavily, but I'm going to say what I said the last few weeks. Your players, look at them. They need your arm around their shoulder. I don't think, personally, that you're going to get the reaction you want going in hard every day, going online and abusing them, going in their DMs and attacking them, and siding with Arsenal fans who want you to lose. I don't think that's going to help your club. I know my audience here at the Football Terrace has the intelligence to differentiate between criticism and abject abuse. However, that's all I'm going to say on the matter. It's your club. Feel free to say what you want. Feel free to do what you want. It's entirely up to you. but your players need you right now. I know some of you are going to say in the chat, I've seen the super chats, nah, Terry, they've got to help us. I hear you. Maybe they can't right now. Maybe what they need is you. Entirely up to you, though. Give me your thoughts. Give me your opinions in that comment section below. Cannot wait to hear what it is you guys have got to say on this huge result. Huge result today. We're going to bring